Hello everybody, welcome to another inspiration piece episode of Art Whisper 88. Now today's inspiration piece is by Paul Burlin, and Paul was born Isidore Burlin in New York. He grew up in New York and London and was the oldest of three children. He never liked his given name, Isidore, and he changed it to Harry Paul. So by 1911, he had separated his life from his family and his past, and he never looked back. In 1913, Paul moved to Santa Fe in the American Southwest, and he was deeply influenced by the art of the Pueblo Indians. And this opened the doors to experimentation in his artwork. Now, during the end of World War, Paul used his art to express the brutality of war, especially the persecution of Jews. Despite being met with many personal tragedies and disappointments, Paul never gave up on teaching and painting, and even up to the 1950s, when he began to lose his eyesight, he kept painting even after he was legally blind. So my inspiration piece today by Paul is titled To Be or Not to Be, and it's a oil on panel done in 1946. And as you can see, it has a very aggressive and turbulent vibe to it, because it's a reflection of the times that he was in, and it also reflects his inner turmoil and his dealing with his personal tragedies. So anyway, I will take this colorful piece and reinterpret it with my marks and colors. Okay, so here's the first step that I want to do. I'm going to use my Sharpie fine point and make marks. These will be random marks. I'm trying not to make it too perfect. Okay, that will be the first layer of marks with my Sharpie. And then I will follow up with some cadmium yellow. Some Venetian rose. Some primary red. And some cobalt. Now I will be, instead of using the color shaper, I will use a small brayer. This is a real little one. And start mapping out the zones of color. So in the inspiration piece, it appears like there are these stripes of very strong colors. Now my interpretation is I will allow them to blend a little bit. Okay. Then as usual, I will put some of my other marks with my magic wand. Now this is the stem of an aloe vera plant that was given to me by a friend who lives in Arizona, which is a desert country. Okay. Now I purposely placed a heavy coat because I do want successive ghost prints to come out. So this will be the first layer. And I'm doing this in a horizontal format this time. So it comes out as a landscape rather than portrait mode. This will be in horizontal mode. And by the way, this is Blick watercolor paper. This is cold press, 140 pound. It's 15 by 20 in size. I will place a link in the description box below if you would like to try it. It's affordable and it does the job. Okay, I will leave this on for about 4 minutes. You will like this. It looks like a pastel drawing. Very cool. Man, it's left a very nice ghost print. Let me see. Let me use some pink. Some sky blue. This is Naphtol Red Light. So this will be fairly brightly colored ghost print. Again, I am creating these different zones of color without over blending them. Now again, I will leave this on for about 4 to 5 minutes, just to let the paper fibers absorb the paint. Okay, let's see what we have here. Very cool. It's a little more atmospheric. Maybe I can try a dark color this time. Let me see. Maybe some turquoise. And some primary red. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Oh, very interesting. Check this out. Now, the texture of the paper plays an important part in this piece. Still a lot of beautiful leftovers. Let me try some transparent yellow. And sky blue. And me try some lime green. Pretty awesome. I think the longer you leave it, the more interesting the texture becomes. Very cool. I think it's a wrap with these series. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 very successful prints. So I will let these air dry and then move on to the next step. Okay, this has dried very nicely. So here we are at the collage portion of this video. And I will arrange some of the pieces. Again, this is my black tissue paper with some marks on it. Let me start with the central figure. Now this is a piece of sketch pad that I offloaded my brayer. I'm going to add some white highlights with my squirt bottle. Okay, that's it for the first piece. Okay, that's it for the last piece. And I will air dry all of them and then recap. Okay, everybody, this is my favorite part of this video, where I get to show you the final product. Here's a close-up of the first pool. Now what I will do is push this to one side and place the inspiration piece. So there's a slight similarity, but it's a new interpretation of Paul Burlin. Now, if Paul were listening wherever he is, I'm sure he will be pleased that his work is being talked about in the year 2024. And this one's for you, Paul. So let me go on to the next one. Now, as with the other pieces, the succeeding pulls kind of get further and further away from the inspiration piece, but that's okay. The inspiration piece is kind of like the seed of an idea, and you take the idea and then you make variations on it. So that is second piece. And here's the third one. Now I like this because I'm able to add my free-form swirling marks, and I think they contrast nicely with the kind of pebbly texture of the paint. Now I'm not able to get this kind of texture on a smooth surface. This only happens when I use cold press paper. I get this very distinct kind of almost impressionist-like texture. So that is the third pull, and this is the last one. And again, this is my favorite because it captures all the leftover paint from the previous pulls. And it's a little more colorful. And in many ways, it's a little more optimistic in outlook. Than the inspiration piece. You have to keep in mind the inspiration piece was done during the World War II years, and there was a lot of pain and suffering in the world, and Paul was just trying to express his feelings. So I hope you like this little tribute video. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out artwhisperer88.com. These pieces are for sale, and the proceeds go to help keep this channel going. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.